Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today is tip 89. And today I decided I'm going to talk about foods and what foods make you feel sluggish. And the reason I decided on this is I've talked about it before, but part of what I've really worked on in the past year with my diet and exercise is trying to identify what tools I can put into place to give me the most energy and to keep my mind sharp. Since I have to do a lot of analytical work, I want to make sure that I keep crisp so that I'm not like sluggish or lethargic, because it makes pattern recognition and problem solving more difficult for me. So today I thought I would do a little bit of research on what foods make us feel sluggish. And there were a couple of no surprises, and then there were some surprises. So I'll share what I kind of found out. And I looked at two articles, one from a magazine called Bustle and another from a website called blackdoctor.org. And of course, both of them, the three big ones that we kind of all know about are foods that will make you sluggish. Right off the bat, we know fatty foods, we know sugary foods, and we know highly processed foods. And through reading these articles, it kind of identified why they make us feel sluggish. And the first reason why they make us feel sluggish is fatty foods kind of induce that food coma. And a food coma is because your body is working so hard to break down the fatty foods that it kind of slows you down and more or less says, hey, why don't you go to sleep for a while and let us work on getting this fatty food processed. So that's why fatty foods make us sluggish. Sugar, we know sugary foods tend to make us sluggish. And the body, the reason that is sugar is quick-lived, and we know about those peaks and valleys with sugar. And what it does is it sends, when you get a lot of sugar, your body shoots off, and we all kind of know this, shoots off a lot of insulin to kind of grab all that sugar. And then what happens is it's so rapid that it causes your body to slow down as it's pushing out all this insulin to grab what you processed with it. The other thing is processed food, highly processed. Highly processed foods are bad for us, and they're bad for us because they're really lacking nutrients, and they just kind of take up space in our stomach. So they don't really provide us much, and it just taking up the space and no nutrients tends to make us sluggish. So no surprise there. I think we all kind of know that the foods that'll make us sluggish are fatty, sugar, and processed. Well, hello, John. The other thing, though, is that it was talking about, or that might be Jess, I'm not sure. The other thing in reading those two articles about feeling sluggish is it gave us 11 items that will make 11 food choices that will make us sluggish. And what really kind of surprised me about that, well, the first one it listed, the top one of the 11 foods was potato chips. So I guess that really doesn't surprise anyone. That tends to be a fatty food. The second one was muffins, kind of the same thing there. The third one was hamburgers. Okay, we know about that, fatty foods. The fourth one, artificially sweetened snacks. We know artificial sweeteners aren't good for us. Then the fifth one was cherries, and that surprised me. So I kind of like looked into it a little bit, and why do they say cherries will make you sluggish? And what it kind of said is cherries are really nutritious and they're really good for you, but they're probably better as a bedtime snack because they have tryptophan in them, and that is one of those things that makes you feel kind of sleepy. So they're still nutritious, cherries, but they just have tryptophan and it'll make you sleepy. The next one they popped up with was pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin seeds are high in magnesium, and because they're high in magnesium, it will actually cause you to relax and become a little bit tired. But they said if you're going to have pumpkin seeds, mix them with a higher energy protein, and then that'll kind of even it out a little bit. The next one was energy and granola bars, and the reason for that is because they tend to be with hidden fats and sugar. The next one, 8, was condiments, and that also was because that has hidden sugars and condiments. Number 9 was bananas. And again, that one kind of relates to the cherries. It's full of tryptophan. So that's a thing that makes you tired. So probably smaller amounts during the day. And if you have it as a snack later at night, it might cause you to be a little bit sleepy, which maybe isn't a bad thing at that time of day. Number 10 is pasta. And that goes back to the carb coma. And number 11 was dark chocolate. And the reason for that is that it's slightly caffeinated. So I guess that what I'll do is I'll kind of recap this before I end the call and get to work. Today, I just wanted to do some research. I wanted to do some research on what foods make me feel sluggish, because I have noticed that, and I've been trying to watch that over the past year, and fuel with things that won't make me sluggish, especially if it's going to be a high analytical day at work, because I don't want to be tired. That makes it hard. So the things I need to avoid when I'm going to have a high peak productivity day are fatty foods, sugary foods, and highly processed foods. We kind of all know about that, and I guess it's just a general reminder. The other article that I read was talking about the 11 worst culprits behind making you sluggish. And that was potato chips, obvious reasons, fatty food. Muffins, fatty and sugary. Hamburgers, fatty. Artificial sweeteners, it's a sweetener and it's highly processed. And because it's highly processed, that's hard on the body and doesn't provide any nutritional value. Cherries, they're very nutritionally sound. They're good for you, but they have tryptophan. So don't overeat them during the day. And they might be later at night, they'll kind of make you more sluggish and tired. But they are very nutritional, just tryptophan. Pumpkin seeds, and it's kind of the same thing, the tryptophan. They say if you want to eat the pumpkin seeds, make sure you get a high energy protein to combine with them, and that'll kind of counter it a little bit. They're still very nutritious. It's just that they have the tryptophan in them. Then it said energy bars and granolas, and that's because they tend to have high fat and high sugar that's hidden inside them, so you got to watch those close. Then condiments, sugar and hidden fats again. Bananas, it's the tryptophan again, so if you have it during the day, maybe smaller amounts so that it doesn't give you an excess amount of tryptophan. Then pasta, because of the carb coma, and it is a highly processed food. And the last one, dark chocolate. Again, they said there's a lot of benefits to dark chocolate, but because it's slightly caffeinated, that will cause you to be a little bit more sluggish. So I guess these are just some kind of tricks and tips, and I have found, like, through my busy seasons and through the type of work I do try to monitor what I eat or make sure that I'm getting hydration, because my work day is harder if I'm not keeping myself at certain levels. So I hope you guys find this helpful. I guess really no big surprises except for the fruits with the tryptophan in them, but I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm starting to see the sunlight outside, and in about 1 minute, I'll start the work day. So I just wanted to thank you for listening. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And if Johnny's there, hi, Johnny. And I hope everyone has an amazing day. And remember, if you want to be a little more productive, maybe watch the things with tryptophan and watch the fatty, sugary, and highly processed foods. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.